Well, hi everyone. I guess one of my vids on the other channel kind of touched a nerve with some people when it came to the matter of having kids and being responsible. Pardon me, I'm a little, oh, my nose is itchy. We're in peak allergy season right now. And some people know one of the things that I really feel strongly about being transgender is there's a right way to pursue your timeline, and then there's a really screwed up way to pursue your timeline. I want to preface this by saying we all know from a pretty early age whether we're transgender or not. And then of course it becomes only a matter of sort of pushing that knowledge aside as long as possible and maybe doing some things to try to make you feel more like male if you're a male to female transgender. So what do? Well, you do what a lot of girls do. You tend to go out and join the army because you think maybe that'll cure your transgender issues. And a lot of them get tattoos and things, and do that, and they try to live their lives. But the toughest category is girls that choose to go out and turn their backs on families because, well, you got to come first, right? Your transition is the most important thing in the world. Well, the reality is far different than that. I mean, let's just say it. If you turn your back on your kids and you run away and you choose to transition in another place, okay, if you send them support, things to try to make their lives better, okay, that's a good thing. You know, but if you just take off and your life spirals down and you can't get a job and your kids ending up living in want and need, and it used to be that they were well provided for, you know what, they didn't sign up for your transition train ride there, but they're going to be the ones to suffer. So one of the things that really rankles me in life is when I will see people that are very self-absorbed into their own preaching about what it is to live the transgender life and stuff, and I have to sit there, pardon the wind noise today, I have to sit there and suck that up, knowing perfectly well that this person, and there's been many over the years, has kids sitting out there in another state, 1,000 miles away, 2,000 miles away, wondering where their next meal is going to be coming from, or how they're going to afford to buy clothes for the school year, food on the table apart from EBT cards and all that. And in those kind of situations, I feel so many times, honestly, that being transgendered it's disgraceful. And I have to say that. And I'm sorry. I know there's some sisters out there, a good measure of them, that do everything in their power. They're told to get out. They take it to heart, but they think in their mind, like I did, I'm gonna do everything I can to make my kids' lives right, because they did not sign on for this journey. And I admire the girls from that. Many times it's meant being cut off from your kids for years. But then what usually happens is if their kids come of age and they start to learn and they start to get a little curious about dad and what happened to dad, and they start asking questions, well, what oftentimes happens is they start to go back and backfill and sort of deconstruct from the present back to the future, from the present back to the past. They look at that and they start putting the pieces together. They do their research and they ask mom, what kind of person was dad? Blah. Well, I kicked his ass out because he wanted to be a lady. And then the question comes up, well, why doesn't dad have anything to do with us anymore? In other words, it's okay. I just miss having dad around, whether he's male, female, or whatever. I just miss having dad around in my life. And those are the things that really break my heart that people aren't aware of, because if you've chosen to turn your back, and if you've chosen to cut off and not take care of your kids and all that, you will never in my opinion, you will never have a healthy relationship with those kids again, unless in the very rare circumstance that those kids are able to push past that and put that circumstance out of their mind and start over. I know what I'm talking about. My brother had a terrible breakup with his wife. I guess 20 years, way back in 2000, and he stopped paying his kids' school. He stopped contributing money to the family, and those kids, that mother had to go off and start working for a university and make her way in life and make a secondary career after raising those kids, and put one of those kids through Trinity College and the other through Randolph-Macon down in Virginia. My brother didn't give shit to that, and as a result today, those kids want nothing to do with my brother at all, and it's one of the saddest things in life to know that that's the reality that so often happens. If you've brought people into the world, you might not be able to see them, but you've got to take care of them. They got to know that their needs were still taken care of, and then they can come to an idea and an understanding of what it was that motivated you, and they can understand why mom dumped you out. But at the end of the day, they're going to respect you for doing the things that you should do, even though you might not necessarily be there. And one of those things is making sure that you're around. So if the kids say, well, Dad stayed around with during my years, didn't always give money, wasn't able to see him, but you know what? I always knew that I was loved, and that's the greatest thing in the world. Thanks for watching.